Hi everyone, and welcome to our second HTML tutorial. This tutorial is going to be one of 3 videos, and we are going to be discussing more HTML elements and a little bit about semantics. Now semantics, when you hear that word, it basically just means that you're using the correct element for the content that you're going to put into it. Now, these rules are all laid out at a wonderful website called HTML Doctor. What we can do here is look at the HTML5 index and go through and look at each of the elements, and we can read what they're used for and reasons why we might not want to use it. So in this tutorial, we're not going to be able to go over all of these HTML elements, but I will go over the ones that you will use most frequently. So for this video, we are going to talk about block level elements. Now, as you may remember from our last video, we talked about body, header, main, navigation, and footer. These are all semantic elements that contain specific pieces of content. The body holds all of the content of the page. The header holds your brand or opening information for the page. Main holds the main content of the page, or the content that the viewers are coming to your page to see. Navigation is where we put all of the information that directs us to different portions of the site, and our footer gives us information that is usually not needed, but it's always there if we need it, such as contact information, career options, or our copyright type things. You can go to other sites and look and see what they use in their footer. We also have other things such as divs, which have no meaning and should only be used for stylistic purposes, usually using CSS. And we have unordered lists, which I will go over today. So let's go ahead and start down here. We talked about nav. Nav holds our navigation for the page. Now, in order to create our navigation, I'm going to use what is called an unordered list. And yes, there's also one called an ordered list. But we're going to use an unordered list because it is semantically correct for what I want to use today. So, we're going to use an unordered list because our navigation doesn't necessarily need to be in a specific order. And these I'm going to put within list items. So our navigation is going to say home. I'm just going to copy this real quick and paste it 2 more times. Control V, Control V. Okay, so we're going to have home, pages, and we're also going to have Google. This is going to be the navigation for our page. So if we come here to our live preview and we refresh the page, yes, I need to save it first. Let me save it over here, and we'll go ahead and refresh the page again. You'll notice that our unordered list pops up. Now you know that this is a block level element because the unordered list takes up the entire width of the screen, and it gives us a few new lines in between before it displays our H1, which is another block level element. And this is more clearly shown if we use our tool called the inspect element. This will be a tool that you use all the time. So once again, if I hover over the each one, you'll notice that it highlights it. And you can see the padding up and below the hello world. And then the blue portion is the element itself. And as you notice, it takes up the entire width of the screen. Now the same thing happens if you come to header. We go into our navigation. As you notice, navigation takes up the whole width of the screen as well. And our unordered list does as well, but it shows that we have some margin there on the left and some padding on the top and on the bottom. So those are the characteristics of block level elements. Another one that you'll use quite often is the paragraph tag. And so we're going to come down here into our main content underneath our H1, and we're going to do a paragraph, which is shown here as the P tag. And instead of me writing a whole bunch of stuff, we're going to get some lorem ipsum text, which is just gibberish to fill up things such as this. Oop. And I didn't get it. Let me go back and grab it. Close that. Control copy. Okay. We're going to paste that in here, and we'll go ahead and save this. And if we refresh the page, you'll notice that just like our other two elements up above, this one takes up the entire width, and it continues until it has the space that it needs. Okay. So let's go back to brackets, and we are going to show how our footer works. So like I talked about before, the footer is where all the unnecessary pieces of content will go, such as a navigation bar to go to areas that you might not usually go to. But in this case, we're going to put our copyright logo and the date that this video was made. So we're going to use what's called an HTML entity. And so this starts out with the and symbol, which is Shift 7, and we're going to say copy, which will give us our copy sign. And this video was created September of, actually it's October now, October of 2017. So we'll go ahead and save that, and we'll go ahead and refresh the page, and you'll notice that our footer once again will take up the entire lower portion here. We have our copyright symbol of October 2017. So for now, I'm gonna stop right here, and if you have any questions about what you saw today, go ahead and leave me a comment, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Hope this video was helpful, and we will see you in our next video where we will be talking about inline elements.